Chapter 11. The improbability-proof control cabin of the Heart of Gold looked like a perfectly conventional spaceship, except that it was perfectly clean because it was so new. Some of the control seats hadn't had the plastic wrapping taken off yet. The cabin was mostly white.
We are high.
Chapter 18. And the next happened after that was that the Heart of Gold continued on its way perfectly normally with a rather fetchingly redesigned interior. It was somewhat larger and done out in delicate pastel shades of green and blue. In the center, a spiral staircase, leading nowhere in particular, stood in a spray of ferns and yellow flowers, and next to it, a stone sundial pedestal housed the main computer terminal. Cunningly deployed lighting and mirrors created the illusion of standing in a conservatory overlooking a wide stretch of exquisitely manicured garden. Around the periphery of the conservatory area stood marble-topped tables on intricately beautiful wrought iron legs. As you gazed into the polished surface of the marble, the vague forms of instruments became visible, and as you touched them, the instruments materialized instantly under your hands. Looked at from the correct angles, the mirrors appeared to reflect all the required data readouts, though it was far from clear where they were reflected from. It was, in fact, sensationally beautiful. Relaxing in a wickerwork sun chair, Zaphod Beeblebrock said, "What the hell happened?" "Well, I was just saying," said Arthur, lounging by a small fish pool, "there's this improbability drive switch over here." He waved at where it had been. There was a potted plant there now. "But where are we?" said Ford, who was sitting on the spiral staircase, a nicely chilled pan-galactic gargle blaster in his hand. "Exactly where we were, I think," said Trillian, as all about them the mirrors suddenly image of the blighted landscape of Magrathea, which still scooted along beneath them. Zaphod leaped out of his seat.
Yeah.
"Then what's happened to the missile?"
Uh-huh. So what was happening earlier where you had to call somebody or whatever? You went to talk to Desmond? Oh. Well, I seen you talk to him, then you walked over there and you looked like you were on the phone. I was like, I thought something happened out. Oh, okay. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 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 I get you. Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah. That'd be it's an easy job. My only problem is, yeah, my only complaint right now is my leg and back are hurting me. Yeah, so yeah, you're standing all the time, and then if you're stocking, you do have to kneel down. And, yeah. 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 Pretty much. Only thing you'd have to worry about with Dollar Tree is when Christy, however her name is pronounced, the district manager comes in, because she will micromanage everything. Yeah. 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 What kind of micromanaging do they do? Are you just supposed to sort everything or whatever? Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And when I say anything about it, well, you just don't know.
Yeah.
Because fuck me, I've only been out here,
Yeah. If it's not broke, fix it. Yeah.
Well, when I'm going to trash, I will try to separate it. Like, this side's trash, this side's the stuff that is the doctor, and
Yeah.
well, that's wrong.
Yeah.
You would have, all this excess cardboard boxes because that's just
Yeah.
and I'd have it in a pile by itself in the back. I, would have, this, that, and the other. And probably one of the things right now, I want to see to this farm. How about you come out here, I just get an hour lunch, and exactly what you want for a full.
Yeah.
But that shit ain't happening.
Oh no. I'm pretty sure most of them probably never started at the bottom and worked their way up. They got they.
Why? So now there's someone between me and that boss.
Yeah.
And anyways, so this boss I'm talking about, her boss,
Yeah.
she started off as a part-time cashier
Yeah.
at Hill Street. She's about the only one that I can get along with just fine.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of it is because she has had to do a lot of shit. Now, this other boss that I'm having problems with, I know she has been a manager at, almost every store because she was kind of like the floating manager, essentially.
Yeah.
And so she knows what it's like to be a manager at a store.
Yeah.
And she may have run, the register a dozen times or more, whatever.
Yeah.
But, and she may have worked, the donation door for like half an hour because she was in the back, producing stuff or whatever. But she's never worked here.
Yeah. Because I just know in a lot of my jobs, I'd work at a place, and the manager that hired me would either quit or get transferred somewhere else, and then they'd hire a new manager, and it was literally they did not work at the company before. They just came straight from
somewhere else.
Yeah, they were like a manager at like a Kroger's or
Right.
Brookshire Brothers. And it's like, oh, I can do this job here too.
Yeah. So I never worked at our Chestnut store here in town, but my girlfriend did for a little bit.
Yeah.
And they had an assistant manager that came in, and he would have them, the only thing that he ever said was this, well, that's not how we used to do it at my old store.
Yeah.
Or, well, at my old store, we would have done it this way. I don't know why you would have thought to have done it this way, because that's not how we did it at my old store. And I'm sitting here getting an idea of why he's no longer at his old store. Because they probably just shipped his ass over there.
Like, well, we can't fire him. He ain't done nothing wrong.
Technically, yeah. And I think that's why I haven't been fired yet, because technically, I haven't,
You haven't screwed up or something like
right, I haven't full on broke anything. I haven't stolen anything. I haven't, there's just a lot of stuff that I haven't done, but I can guarantee you with the way they're poking on me about shit, I know they've thought about it.
Yeah.
And even when they could have fired me at the beginning of the year because of some stupid shit that somebody, okay, so me and the other person that used to work here, Adrian,
Yeah.
the girl that, was presenting as male,
Yeah.
long dark hair and usually wore kind of dark clothing and stuff.
Yeah. Gothic looking or emo.
But,
Goth emo or something.
Yeah. Well, me and them would joke a lot about stuff that clearly we really shouldn't have been joking about,
Yeah.
And then around Christmas, they transferred them over to our Hudson location and brought someone else over here. And I'm thinking, okay, well, I guess they just decided to just move people around, whatever.
Yeah.
Like less than a week later, I found out that I had to go talk to HR.
Yeah.
Because of some of those jokes that apparently, out of nowhere, this person who has never told me, hey, I don't appreciate that joke. Could you please stop?
Yeah.
I'm getting called in because of those jokes.
Yeah.
And I don't know why they just didn't fire me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But since then, they have done just about everything in their power to get me to quit.
Yeah.
Or, because again, I haven't done anything to be fired yet, but they're still wanting me to be, to get me gone for whatever reason.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like some of the managers that used to be here, like Jose when he was here, same thing, jokes, raunchy ass jokes, racist jokes.
Yeah, I remember all that, yeah.
Yeah, he got fired because, around inventory time, apparently,
Some shit happened.
yeah, inventory wasn't coming out just right, and
Yeah,
that was good enough for them to run him off.
that's dumb as shit.
Yeah. Like,
But I will say my favorite thing to come out of all of this shit
yeah,
is when I'm sitting out here and people can tell that I'm in a bad mood. They're like, hey, what's wrong?
Yeah.
And I don't hold anything back like I'm doing with you. I will tell them, oh, because my boss is being a butthole. Well, what do you mean? Well,
you can't do nothing right.
and that's the thing that pisses me off the most.
Yeah.
Is that even if I, bent down and kissed her ass up and down and did absolutely everything to the letter,
Yeah.
she'd find something to bitch about.
Yeah.
That's why I like men managers,
Me too, most.
Managers.
Yeah, I prefer most of my bosses to be male because at least most of the time then, unless they're just a complete prick and have like the only manager I ever really hated at any of my jobs is like when I worked at Save-A-Lot when I was a teenager. When I first got hired, the manager, this is what, as I said, it happens a lot. I'll get hired at a job. The manager that hires me, really cool dude. He wound up transferring to, he quit working there to go work at like Walmart or something, much better paying job. The guy they brought in,
Big bag.
yeah,
I hate that shit.
yeah, by the book, everything had to be,
I don't know if I told you, but I told Desmond, they even brought out a checklist now.
Yeah.
You know, a big old stack of checklists that I have to fill out every day. Of like certain times I'm supposed to be doing, you know, this, that, or the other.
That was how that was at my. It's like when I got hired at Save a Lot, I was a stocker. All I had to do was unload truck, put stuff on shelves.
Right.
Don't worry about anything else. Maybe take out trash. When the new dude came in, every time when I was stocking, I had to check off everything on the manifesto, what I put out. Like, are there 8 cases of canned tomatoes? Yes, I put out 8 cans of
And they do that shit to have a paper trail to show your incompetence, essentially.
Yeah, it made me incompetent because then I had to, like, I'd stock something, I had to check off what I did on the list.
Yep.
Whereas before, I could just
do it.
Yeah.
You could actually do your job.
Yeah.
And like I said, they do that shit so they can have a paper trail of, oh, you see, we introduced this new thing and they didn't follow what we told them to do. And so that's why we fired them.
I didn't so much get fired then. I just stopped showing up. I just quit and let.
That's why they do shit like that.
Yeah. Like, I just got sick of it. It's like, I just told my family, it's like, I'm not going to work today or at all this week. I'm not going back.
Well, when I get home tonight, me and my girlfriend, I know we're going out wherever we're going, and I'm gonna talk to her and tell her. Now, mind you, I've been telling all this shit to her, you know, the entire time that it's been happening since the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
And she's like, I even got her feeling bad, you know. It's like, baby, I'm so sorry you're having to deal with that shit. And I'm gonna tell her all the shit that's going on today. And I'm gonna tell her that I'm gonna put my application in for Dollar Tree.
Now, it might be a bit of a pay cut for you because.
Well, that's the funny part, because I got to thinking about that, because you mentioned that y'all are hard capped at what, 30-something hours a week?
At most, they'll let you get 35.
Right. And how much do you get paid an hour?
Apparently $10. I'm paid $10 plus an hour now because I thought I was still at $9, but my manager showed me on my, because I haven't had to I never physically look at my check stubs. Everything's digital, and I had to get them printed off because I go to a medical clinic and I need to have proof of.
Is it the health district?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I needed proof of pay, so I had to get my check stubs printed out, and he showed me on there. It was like, you're paid $10.25 an hour right now. I was like, okay, I never noticed because.
So from what I'm hearing, yeah, it will be a pay cut, but honestly, not by much.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting 40 hours a week out here,
Yeah.
and I'm only getting $10.50 an hour.
Yeah. So not too much of a difference in pay. You'll just the number of hours you might be go down quite a bit, but.
Right, but like you said, anywhere between 5 and 10 hours, give or take.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'll actually have more time to spend with my girlfriend, and I'll be happy about that.
Yeah. That works out too. Me, I'm working 5 days this week, but my only complaint with that is I'm working all afternoon to evening shift.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much my prime hours to do anything during the. Because I don't like getting up in the morning, and I don't really like going to bed at night. So when I get home today, I'll probably be up till midnight at least.
So how amenable are they about hours?
It depends. Like if you're going to college or something, they will work around your college hours. If you have a second job, if you give them your schedule for your other job, they'll schedule you around it or whatever. As long as your other job isn't like random hours each week. Like they prefer if you have a set schedule or whatever.
So then,
Wrong.
let's say I find out, or like I go with my girlfriend to the doctor, and they want to set something out like 2-3 weeks, ahead of time.
Well, there's an app on your phone that you get when you work here. You download it, and I think it's called like Compass.
Something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can put in for it. You just need to have whatever days off you need to set it get them in within 2 weeks ahead of
Right,
time.
right. And that's usually, and that's how it is here too with ours and all that.
Which most of my mom's doctor and mine, they're set like months in advance, so it's easy to go ahead and get those in.
That's usually how it is with my girlfriend, because she's the one that, I mean, yes, I know I've got medical issues too, but fuck me, you know. I don't worry about mine so much, and she's the one that, she's got insurance and, you know, stuff like that, so she can actually, you know, get, you know, healthcare and shit. And so, and I'm usually the one that has to, she doesn't drive.
Yeah.
And her now ex-husband's a piece of shit and would never really take her to any of her, you know, appointments. And so it still would have to be me. But anyways, I was wondering about that.
Yeah, like my mom has to go to her doctor like once a month because my mom broke her back years ago, so she's on basically high level painkillers for the rest of her life. And because of laws, they can't write her like a 6 months prescription or 3 months prescription.
Yeah.
She has to get a new prescription written each month.
Right.
So she has to go see her doctor, and then he'll write her prescription. And normally she'll tell me, like, you know, like after she's gone, like when I take her to it, she'll tell me, okay, my next appointment is, you know,
like 3 months ahead of time.
Or
it would be like, you know, June 6th or whatever.
Yeah, and then I could just, you know, it's like, just remind me when we get in or when we go to eat somewhere.
That way you can go and put it in that app and all that.
Yeah, I just put in, like, I need this day off. It's, you know, high priority doctor's appointment.
Right.
My doctor, I only usually go see them like once every 3 to 6 months, because they write me
those longer prescriptions.
Yeah, because I have high blood pressure, and
You? High blood pressure? No.
High blood pressure, high cholesterol.
High retardation.
No, they don't make a pill for that yet.
Yeah, they do. It's called, you know, cyanide.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about the legalized meth.
That too. No, you know, I've heard that they're, you know, the cure, you know, for all your problems is a bullet to the brain. That cures all your problems.
Most of them.
You know, it cures all of them, because then it's not a problem anymore.
You might have one last case of explosive diarrhea.
Well, you'd be dead by that point. You wouldn't know.
Yeah. And I'm sure it wouldn't help the halitosis.
Yeah, well, whatever. Like I said, you'd be dead.
Yeah.
No what?
Let's see here. And right now I'm on a muscle relaxer because of my back and leg. Because my doctor, I was actually surprised when I went to my doctor's appointment last time. They actually, like, I told them, like, my back and leg are hurting real bad. And they actually prescribed me muscle relaxers for it and gave me a steroid shot.
Yeah, those are a bitch, but I understand.
It's like most of the time when I complain about something hurting, it's like, just.
Because it actually hurts that time,
Yeah, they're like, just take Tylenol or take ibuprofen or whatever, like you already are.
That's not doing anything, you know.
Yeah, I think I've developed an immunity to most of them.
You know, I would say if you stop taking them for about 3 or 4 years, then probably, you know, they'd actually do shit again. But
Yeah, I know if I stop, I would take like 4 ibuprofen each night. Because I would be hurting in the morning, like I'd wake up suddenly, my legs are stiff. I did stop doing that because my doctor told me they do blood tests like every, 3 months too. They're like, you've got a lot of liver enzymes or whatever. It's like, because like I know ibuprofen
can fuck with your liver quite a bit, yeah.
Yeah. So I stopped taking them, and I was waking up with like leg pain and stuff, but that eventually went away. But this here is more, I think I pinched a nerve in my leg.
That would make sense, yeah.
It's like one of those things, like it doesn't hurt to stand straight up, but once I go to kneel down
Shit, yeah.
or sit down, it's like a lightning bolt through my leg and back.
Just a reverse Harry Potter, you know.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, the
Oh,
other morning when I got out here, I had seen, I could tell that someone had brought a bunch of like Harry Potter shit, you know, and they had those like little collectible figurines and stuff. And
Yeah.
there was one of like Newt Scamander and shit like that. There were a few other ones, but the one that stuck out, which I thought was hilarious, was a Hermione one.
Yeah.
And my brother got whenever we talk about it, I don't like her because she's a know-it-all, that snooty little bit, stuff like that. And so I take a picture of this one because, like I said, it was a Hermione one, and I go, look, it's a know-it-all doll.
Yeah.
That's about exactly the response I got from him.
Yeah. Makes me wonder if that was someone who is really upset with the new series coming out, and they decided to just throw all their shit away.
Right? I wonder. Although, I mean, it really does, because the ones that I saw of those figurines were still in the box and everything.
So they were a serious collector.
It makes me wonder, because I know there was at least 3 or 4 of them that we had. Because, like I said, the Hermione one was sitting like right over here, kind of underneath the stairs or whatever. And when I got inside, I had seen that there were, like I said, about another 2 or 3 of them in the containers inside. So I think what happened is that when my coworker was like moving the shit around or whatever, the Hermione one must have just fell out and he just never did see it or some shit.
Yeah.
So there were a few of them, and man, I will say probably one of the coolest things that I ever saw come through here was a First Order Stormtrooper.
Yeah.
That was like about yay tall.
Oh, I remember those, like the 4-foot ones.
Yeah.
Because I've seen a video of somebody, they bought one of those for their kid, then cut it apart and made it into a armor suit for.
That's cool. That's pretty cool.
I also remember there was a Batman that was that tall and a Superman.
Yeah. And Iron Man and Spider-Man and all that.
Yeah. Like, I remember when they made those tall ones, because at one point Walmart had a bunch of them sitting out in front.
Tell you what I would like. It's like a 4-foot transformer that isn't just solid, that you'd actually still be able to transform and shit,
Yeah. I know there's one out there, they call it the divorce maker, and they made a, like, online, it was like the ultimate Unicron,
right?
And it was like 5 foot tall, like transformed, and then when in planet mode, it was like the size of a beach ball,
Right.
And it cost like $899 or something like that.
I tell you, one of the coolest ones that I've seen lately is one I saw. Like, dude had bought it somewhere else, but was showing it on TikTok, and it was one of the like voice activated ones.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
You could say like Optimus transform, and he'd go, Optimus transform, and he'd go, and he'd actually transform down into the truck and shit,
Yeah, with working lights and all that.
Yeah.
There's like 3 or 4 of them now. There's Optimus, Megatron that turns into a tank,
Nice.
and Grimlock, and then I think there's a Bumblebee.
See, I would think that there would be like a Starscream one.
That one, it might take a while, and it also depends on how they make the transformation work.
That's true.
I know those, because the Vintage Optimus has a very simple transformation.
Right.
More or less, he just lays down and then bends backwards.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Like his legs just switch around, and then he lays down, and his legs just,
Yeah. And the Megatron one, because it's a tank, and most of the time when they do his tank modes, it's just what they call an H tank, and that means he just lays down.
Yeah.
And like the 2 treads make his legs, and then 2 treads makes his arms.
Yeah.
And his head just kind of
Pops out.
yeah. The Bumblebee is, the little Volkswagen Bug. That's an simple one.
He just kind of hunches over, and that's about it.
Yeah. Like, basically his legs roll up and then his arms just fold in.
Yeah.
And Grimlock is an easy one because half his dinosaur mode is on his back.
Yeah. And he just kind of turns, and that's it.
Yeah. Like the upper chest of the T-Rex and the head just split open and become wings, and then that's where his head's at, and his dinosaur legs are his arms, and the tail becomes the legs. The Grimlock one I would love. The one I really would like is if they made a sound wave that worked as an actual cassette player or radio.
That'd be fucking awesome.
There is one that's an MP3 player they made back in like the early 2000s.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, you transform it yourself, but it's actually an MP3 player built into him.
That's pretty cool.
Problem is, it's an old MP3 player, so it doesn't have like a screen or anything. All his buttons do is you can turn the volume up on it, and then
Skip tracks and shit.
just skip tracks, but you can't see which tracks.
Man, you know, I remember like one of my, I'm pretty sure it was an iPod Nano.
Yeah,
And having to like plug it into the computer, and then like remember having like to transfer over the like song files and shit like that.
yeah.
That's still to me that would have been like, you know, doing like a mixtape for like our parents back in the day, you know.
Yeah, I remember making mixtapes because we had CD players, but I would that was the only way I had to record them because I didn't have a CD burner, so I could just play the CD, record it onto on a tape, and then I'd have to remember figure out what order I want to put them in.
Right. God, I think that's I like, you know, trying to talk to, you know, teenagers nowadays, and, you know, talking with them and asking them, you know, or like saying, God, you know, well, perfect situation. Just this last Sunday, I got to go and talk with one of my church members' kids who, he's still underage.
Yeah.
And he had one of his buddies who was 18.
Yeah.
And, you know, here I am almost fucking 40.
Yeah.
And getting to do the joke of, you know, I remember before Google, you know.
Yeah.
You know, my Google was my mom, you know. I had, like, if I had a question, I'd have to go ask her.
I remember having to ask people lots of questions just because I didn't know. I remember the first bit of internet, and the only search engine I remember was Yahoo and Ask Jeeves.
Yes.
And even then,
I know for the longest time, I would not use Google. I would only ever use Yahoo.
I don't even know if Yahoo's still a thing anyway.
Well, it is, because I still have an email with them and everything.
I still have my first email, which is, you know, Hotmail, but it's now called Outlook.
Yeah, see, I'm pretty sure mine's still there, but I don't fucking remember what it was, or even like the password for it or anything. Well, I remember one of my first email or online email / password thing was through like one of the first Star Trek websites and shit. And it wasn't one of the fan ones. It was one of the, like, you know, official StarTrek.com shit, you know. And you could have your own email through them and everything. And back, you know, when you had like 30 different, you know, places you could get your email with, you know.
Yeah.
Now you only got like Google, you know.
Yeah, pretty much just Google. As I said, Hotmail, that one is Outlook, yeah, is I think that's MSN, basically.
I think so, yeah. Obviously, remember AOL and all that shit. I remember asking ASL, you know.
I remember the dial-up sound.
Oh my God, I did too. My favorite sound, you know, associated with that was, hey, get off the phone, I'm trying to get on the internet.
Yeah, I never had it at my house. It was at my aunt's house because she was the one that had internet before my mom or my dad, either one of them, ever got home internet. And when my dad finally got it, we had it through web TV.
Ooh, yeah.
That was internet through your TV. We didn't have an actual computer. We just had a remote control keyboard.
That's cool.
Or you could use the remote.
Right.
But then you would have to, if you wanted to type something in, you know, arrow up, down.
In other words, a smart TV before smart TVs.
Yeah, but yeah, then we had, as I said, we had the remote keyboard and, you know, type stuff in. And the only thing we really ever used it for was to buy stuff on eBay.
Right.
Because that was the only website I think I ever was on when I was at living with my dad at that time, was we would be on eBay just looking to see what we could find.
Right.
And if we found something we want, I'd have to ask him
Yep.
to buy it or bid on it. And I remember, bidding wars and being annoyed, like, we're going to win it. We're down to the last 5 seconds, and just right at that last second, ding, everything just...
See, I would have been that jerk,
Yeah.
Just find, something, wait until, like you said, the last few seconds and go, "Whew."
Yeah.
And, get it for like 10 cents or some shit,
Yeah. Because I bought a lot, because this was when I was a kid. I used to have, when I was a kid, my dad says he still has it on his property. I don't know if they're still there. They're probably not worth anything now because they weren't probably kept in the best condition with him. I had every Spawn action figure because I was big into Spawn and stuff. So I had like Series 1, the whole...
What was his name, that character's name, before he became Spawn?
Al Simmons.
Okay, I couldn't quite remember. Okay.
Yeah, that's a big thing too, because that was something that the creator of Spawn, Todd McFarlane, had really bad trouble with, and he still gets shit for today. He named a lot of his characters after real people he knew. And
hey, now if you had written, consent from them,
at the time, a lot of them he did because they were his friends, but then years later, they had a falling out or something.
Oh, he didn't have my permission.
And they're like, now I want a big cut of money because my name is all over your properties.
That's why I like how frickin' Stan Lee did.
Yeah.
Like Peter Parker.
That was mostly for him to keep up with his characters' names.
What I'm saying.
He would use alliteration,
yes,
so he's like...
Yes, Bruce Banner. But what about Tony Stark, though?
That one I don't know exactly. I think it was because he was like... I'm surprised that one, too, because he based Tony Stark on Howard Hughes.
Yes.
A real-life guy with an alliterative name.
Yes.
I'm surprised he didn't do, like, Stanley Stark or something.
Right.
Or... something, because I guess he went, because Tony Stark's dad's name was Howard Stark, named after Howard Hughes.
Correct, yeah.
I'm surprised he didn't just try to think of what's a snooty aristocratic name or whatever that starts with an S or whatever, because Stark would be the unique part of the name.
Right. Like you said, Stanley Stark.
Or Stanford or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Because because he's wanting to keep him to be...
That's true. But Stanley is also kind of a name like that.
That's what I thought too. But I was like... But Stanley, well...
Sam Stark.
Yeah.
Samuel Stark.
Samuel, yeah. Because they like...
Smithers Stark. Sorry, you were saying, I'm sorry.
I'm trying to think. I was going to say Smithers. Is that his last name or first name in The Simpsons?
Well, I think, with the way snooty people are, it could be either way.
Yeah.
Because I know, obviously in The Simpsons, it's his last name.
Yeah, that's right.
Waylon Smithers.
Yeah, Waylon Smithers, yeah. But Waylon is also a last name.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. It's like, you rich when not only do you have 2 middle names, but you also have, 3 first names. And even your last name is also a first name,
Or you have several surnames as your...
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Because I was going to say Waylon, because second you say Waylon by itself, I think Waylon Yutani from the Aliens movies. But there's also a lot of last names that are a first name, like Smith, or my name, Williams.
Right. Well, I know that with Williams and stuff like that, it's just like a shortening of Williamson.
Yeah. And that was like the old-timey way of surname. Your surname was literally your dad's first name.
Right. You'd be like John Johnson.
Yeah.
Lufkin.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, the only problem with that is that there was 10,000 Johns, and they all named their son John of Lufkin. It's like, well, which one?
That's when you get a nickname based on what your accomplishments were in life.
Either that or how you looked like, too.
Yeah.
Because, like, some of my favorite are the ones that are like Frederick Redbeard, you know? Or, no, it was known as Barbarossa. Frederick Barbarossa, which literally meant Redbeard.
Yeah, I learned that too, and it's like, so I now know what my name would have been in like a medieval time. I've been a Barbosa or Barbarossa
Yeah.
or pirate.
Yeah.
I have thought of, because I want to write in junk and I create characters in junk for like, as I used to draw a lot and I also used to write little short stories.
Yeah.
I always wanted to come up with my own pirate, and I didn't want to. I always liked something beard.
Well, obviously.
And I'm like, well, Redbeard doesn't. That is a real one.
Yeah.
I want.
Blackbeard's a real one.
And I was like, Crimson Beard, no, Bloodbeard. And I'm like, I looked that up, and I think it's actually has been used somewhere.
I would think so. That's when you'd have to. Oh my god. Because this is how you just fuck with everybody on shit like that. You'd like, oh my god. It'd be almost like the whole, oh god. Like, you know, a kid's version of like almost like the Dora the Explorer version of a pirate.
Yeah.
And his name is like Blueberry Beard or some shit like that.
I do watch, or not watch. I follow One Piece, and there are a few secondary background characters that have names like that. There's
right, exactly.
There is literally a character in One Piece called Pink Beard or something like that because his beard is pink.
How original.
Yeah. And he is a like subordinate of the Blackbeard pirates in this story.
No, I got it. Name your pirate character Black Toe.
Black Toe?
No, Black Toe. Like your toe.
Oh, Toe.
Because, you know, it was one, you know, dark and stormy night. He got tossed around the ship, stubbed his toe real bad, and it swelled up big and black.
Oh, I kind of like Bloodbeard because I also like the story and the concept of red caps.
Oh, absolutely.
And that would be like the thing is like he's got a naturally red beard, but he keeps it red by dipping, like coating his beard in the blood of his enemies or whatever.
No, don't get me wrong. Bloodbeard is an amazing name. Don't get me wrong.
And also it's alliterative, so it sounds good.
But I like I said, I know my ass, like, you know, blueberry jam beard, you know, and dude's like always eating like, you know, blueberry jam filled donuts or some shit, you know, and it's just constantly oozing out all over his beard and shit.
Yeah.
Well, see, I've always constantly, I've written a series of short stories, and when I say short stories, I mean literally like a page long, if that, you know, like maybe even half a page. Fuck, if I did like full font and everything, you know, I could probably write them all out on one single sheet, but,
an outline, basically.
right. But what I've been doing a lot of lately is using ChatGPT.
Yeah,
I'm you know, tell little stories because I love the idea of the choose your own adventure shit. You know, that's like my favorite.
Yeah, I've always that's what I kind of want to do at some point is write like a story and it have like branching paths that you can read it.
Yes.
But I also want it to have like a set ending that you still wind up at the same spot.
Right. And that's why I say I love the choose your own adventure books.
Yeah.
My favorite was like I know everybody else that I'd read, you know, I'd read a couple pages and it'd be like, hey, you know, at the bottom, turn to page 17 if you want to do this, or turn to page 32 if you want to do this.
Yeah.
Put my finger right there, you know, go over to page 17, and at the bottom it said, no, you died. I was like, shit, I didn't choose that one.
I actually had, as a kid, I can't remember what the freaking toy was called, and it's probably worth some money now. That robot, you put the cassette tapes in, and it would read...
Ruxpin?
What?
Teddy Ruxpin?
Well, it wasn't a Teddy Ruxpin. It was actually the robot. It had like egg beater looking hands.
Yes, the other one. Yes.
They had a game show with a giant one as yes. And it would read stories to you. It had books you would read along with, and then it would come to the part is like, now if you want to do this, push this button on me.
Right.
if you want to do this, push this button. And it was like 4 choices because there was like 4 buttons on his chest. And he would automatically
skip
to that part in the...
dude, that's cool.
I had that robot. If I still had it, I'm sure it's worth a lot of money now as a collector's. Maybe, not a lot. Maybe like... as I said, I can't remember the date.
$30 at least.
I'd say about 100 maybe for some collector if it worked.
Right now, obviously, yeah.
Because I had a Tales from the Crypt Keeper one cassette that went with it in the little book.
So cool.
And I can't remember what the damn story was. I do think it had something to do with either pirates, because I think it was set in a swamp.
Okay, yeah.
But that's all I can remember, as I was like a real little kid in the early 90s when I had it.
Mm-hmm.
I did have another thing like the Teddy Ruxpin, though. I had the Snoopy one when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But I don't remember what it did, stories it read or anything worse, because
Charlie Brown, probably.
Yeah, they were probably Charlie Brown stories, but because when I was older, I remember messing with it, trying to get it to work, but it never, it was broken by the time then, because I remember it was like it had the motors and all that in it.
Yeah. Well, like I was saying though, with my, because what I'll do is I'll do the ChatGPT and have it as like an RPG, choose your own adventure shit in like whatever universe I want it to be in. Like one of my more recent ones that I've been kind of messing around with that I've really enjoyed is I'm a huge Star Wars fan.
Man.
And so I do a lot of like I have it in the fucking rules, man, that everything has to be like canon adjacent. You know, something that's at least, you know,
within the possibilities of that.
Right. As opposed to like, you know, wanting Halo to show up in it or some shit, you know. Like Master Chief just busts in and, you know, eats Darth Vader or some shit, you know.
Oh, now you don't want Warhammer characters to just pop in suddenly?
No. I've got a buddy of mine who is all into the whole fan fiction stuff. And now, don't get me wrong, some of it is good. But I like my fan fiction to stay within like the same universe.
I try to do that too. Is like I have characters that I design that I want in a Star Wars setting, and I try and get someone. I can draw. I can't draw certain things very well,
Right.
so I've tried hiring people online, and no matter how much I freaking paid, I've paid $500 for a piece of art. And I'm really disappointed with it, but I'm not gonna just tell the person, God damn it, you fucked this up.
Give me my money.
It's like, God damn it, just finish the job and I'll
Right.
pay you whatever. And just don't bother me again. Because
That's why I'd sooner just take the AI pictures, you know.
that's why I'm all for AI.
And shit, you know.
Most of the time with AI, at least when it screws up, it gives me a new idea for something. It's like,
Dude, I am telling you.
it's like I've asked it to draw. Like, as I said, I'm in the Warhammer stuff, and I'm like, can you depict this character in the Warhammer setting for me?
Oh, God.
And it will...
Robot girly man.
Oh, yeah. Robute Gilliman.
Yeah,
the
I know.
Primarch of the Ultramarines. I know. Robot girly man, or Robute girly man. Gorilla.
Right.
Like...
My brother is a huge Warhammer fan, too.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that I'm not. I am not, like...
I've never played the game, but I...
Right. My lore knowledge isn't anywhere near as deep as it is on, like, Star Trek or Star Wars or shit like that. But I absolutely love that universe.
Me too.
Because I have played some... I played a couple of the TTRPGs for it with some buddies of mine back in the day.
Yeah.
Like Dark Heresy,
Space Hulk or something?
Trader,
Oh,
shit
Rogue.
like that.
Yeah.
And then we did like a few of the... Hi! What's up, dude? We would mix some of those together, you know. There was, I forget what it was called, but one for like the armed forces, so like, you know, just the soldiers, you know. Not the Marine, like Marines, but like the
Imperial Guard.
Right. Yeah. Dude, I had a Rattling sniper
Yeah,
that
basically space hobbits.
yeah. And like I loved my DM or storyteller or GM, whatever the fuck you want to call those guys. Because just about every time you got to create a new character, he'd be like, okay, I'll let you have like one free cool item within reason. You know, not some like, you know, maybe he'd give you like a +1 sword, you know, if you're playing D&D, you know.
Yeah.
And even let you like flavor change it a little bit to, you know, be really cool or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But nothing busted at the beginning.
Yeah.
And with that dude, I ended up, I was oh god, oh my god, the way that game ended up. But anyways, he was a sniper, and he was also trying to, you know, be like the charismatic-y kind of dude, so he could try to get out of shit if he got into shit, which he always did.
Yeah.
Don't even remember his name right now, but that sniper rifle had the like, it wasn't archaeotech, but it was some semi-ancient tech that allowed you to just kind of keep folding it, essentially. Allowed you to stick it in like your pocket to where if somebody patted you down, it would be almost insane. They'd have to be like rolling like, you know, like
a nat 20.
You'd have to roll like nat 20s and have like an investigation of like +50, you know.
To find it on you.
Because in Dark Heresy and Rogue Trader, they used the D100 system.
Okay.
And the lower you rolled, the better you did instead of higher.
Okay, it was like I don't know how that would work. I've watched a lot of D&D. Right now, I'm watching Legends of Adventures on YouTube.
Okay.
I got YouTube was showing me a bunch of shorts of the funniest moment.
Fine, I'll go watch the damn thing.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, what's the campaign I need to watch first to get into them? And it's like start on Witchlight, Legend of Witchlight, one, and watch from there, and then then on the others just start anywhere on the first video of the series, and it'll get you into it. It was like, okay, and right now I'm on like episode 48 or something. And those are 3-hour videos. So
I know, because I've watched a few of the Critical Role ones.
I watched like the first season or whatever of the not their cartoon, but them playing.
Although I did watch the cartoon one too, and that shit was awesome.
I kind of wanted to, but then I started hearing things about like, oh, they didn't have the rights to actually use D&D,
right?
So they had to make changes to be like, okay, so it's not this species, it's this.
Right. Which, in my opinion, is fair game.
That's fair. Yeah, like there's a few of them. I used to watch Harmon Quest. I had to sail the high seas to watch that because that was a show you had to have like, I can't remember, Paramount Plus or whatever it was back then to watch it. So I had to watch it on like a Kiss cartoon or whatever, because they had animated segments, but you were watching them on a stage playing D&D, but they were like, we're not playing D&D, we're just playing.
We're playing a game.
Yeah.
We're playing make-believe.
Yeah. So like they were using D&D rules and all that, but they were in stats and stuff.
No. Because dude, even me and my own buddies have done shit like that in homebrews, you know.
Yeah.
One of the longest lasting games that my buddy ran was in a universe of his own. You know, it was still all the same races, plus or minus, one or two of their, like a homebrew version.
Yeah, I've created a homebrew species. A monster that I want to try and see if I can get someone to use it in a game to see how it works out and see if I got it right.
I will say probably one of my favorite is, I mean, I've had quite a bit in his universe for it, and I even helped him build the universe, which was even more fun for me.
That's kind of what I want to do at some point.
But one of my favorite characters was a mouse folk.
Yeah.
That actually wasn't a mouse folk. Because what it was, it's a long, convoluted story, and the shortest way possible was he was actually a dragon.
Okay.
So the slightly longer version is that there was this other more ancient dragon that muscled in on his parents' territory.
Yeah.
And his egg kind of well, let's just say an adventurer found it,
Yeah.
sold it to a merchant, and the merchant was transporting it to another city to, to sell it, as you do with that kind of shit.
Yeah.
And it quite literally fell off the wagon.
Yeah.
And as it bounced down into the hedge, there were these nomadic mousefolk druid coven kind of thing.
Yeah.
That just literally happened upon his egg.
Yeah.
And took him, took the egg.
Yeah.
And, cared for it, did everything they could for him, and eventually he hatched. And I think he was a bronze dragon? Either a bronze or brass, whichever one is the lightning one.
Damn it, I can't remember. There's so many goddamn dragons,
Right,
I can't.
and that's my problem too. Anyways, my point being.
I know gold is like, they're good and they're desert dwellers, if I remember.
Right. Well, mine was the good water-dwelling one that shot lightning. That was either brass or bronze.
I think that would be brass.
I think it's actually bronze.
It could be bronze. I don't know.
My point being is they raised the dragon.
And it took on their appearance.
Well, because, dragons can already,
They have an ability to
mimic essentially other
polymorph or whatever.
Right.
Because I know there's a meme out there that shows a cat sitting on a roof that's been dented in, and it's like when the polymorph dragon is trying to be sneaky.
Yes, and because they were druids,
yeah,
he learned their druidic magics.
Yeah.
And so what we designed was he, like, for all intents and purposes, was a mouse folk. Mechanically speaking, he was a mouse folk.
Yeah.
But his subclass in druid was Circle of the Dragon.
Yeah.
And all the dragon shit came from that,
Yeah.
And he was already like level 3, 5, whatever it was, because of like inserting him at the same level as all the other characters of the, the group or whatever.
Yeah.
And so one of the first things that they went on was like they found a bandit camp.
Yeah.
And my dude, was like, "Oh, I'll scurry on over here and I'll do whatever the fuck." And so the thing is they knew that he was a druid and that he could turn into a dragon.
Yeah.
It was like, it wasn't a full-grown dragon; it was a juvenile dragon. So it's still powerful, but not.
Oh, he was still a whelp or welts or whatever.
Something like I think it's technically juvenile, but it's the same thing.
No, I just know the terminology in certain things is they call a baby dragon. It's called a welt or
Right.
or whelp.
And so they knew that he could turn into a dragon.
Yeah.
But they didn't know
that was his true form.
Right.
Like, I have other concepts, ideas for. I've never actually got to play the game because when I went to high school, there was the outcast group that I was in.
Right.
There wasn't enough of us, and not enough of us were into that kind of stuff to ever play. Yeah. So I've never got to actually play D&D. I have got some ideas for some. Like, one I want to throw out is a character that is either a rat folk or an Aarakocra. He doesn't even know because it's either he's an Aarakocra that's a were-rat.
Or he's the rat and he's a were-crow or some shit like that.
Yeah, well, buzzard.
Same thing, really.
Because the concept was he was, like a rogue or an assassin, and he eats people.
Okay, so I had a one-shot character that I really loved.
Yeah.
That was a Kinku.
Yeah.
Or whatever they're called.
That's the ones that can't speak.
Right. That they can only.
They also can't fly.
Well, okay, so they can talk.
They just have to mimic.
Right. They can only use words that they have heard before.
And they use the voice of whoever they heard it from.
Right.
So most time when people talk with them, they sound like Bumblebee from the movies.
Right.
While you're skipping through channels of talk.
So I was playing as a rogue, Kinku.
Yeah.
Full on, pickpocket and everything.
Yeah.
And the only thing he could ever say was, rock, rock, rock. So his name was, guess what?
Rock.
Rock.
Hold door?
R-O-C. Huh?
Hold door?
Yeah, honestly, yes. And another character that I played was a Goliath.
Oh, yeah, giants.
That was a cleric, but a Domain of the Forge cleric.
Okay.
And that his whole deal is he had been essentially commissioned by his god to craft a god-forged weapon.
Yeah.
Well, needless to say, he died before that happened, but whatever. Anyways, and his like super duper special cool item that he got was there is an item that's called like the armor of donning and doffing.
Yeah.
That you essentially, you know, because normally if you were to take on or put on or take off your armor, it takes, you know, quite a bit of time to do that.
Yeah.
Whereas this bitch, it was like a Tony Stark bullshit where he'd constantly be wearing this gauntlet.
And it
had this ruby on the back,
Yeah.
and all he'd have to do is slap it like a fucking morpher, you know?
Yeah.
And then it just goes.
Yeah.
What time you got? 6:30?
Let's see. 6:45.
Okay. Well, I kind of need to actually.
Put up all that stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, I get off at 8, so I've got plenty of time.
I have nothing better to do because right now my mom and my stepdad are out of town and up around Dallas on a little getaway.
Yeah.
And all I got to do when I get home is feed the animals and feed myself, and that's it.
Well, no, you had it right. Feed the animals. You're one of them.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I got to take out trash because tomorrow's garbage day.
Oh, see, ours is on Wednesday, so I did that yesterday.
Ours is every Friday, and last Friday I forgot to put everything down.
I can hate when that happens.
Like the only thing I got picked up was like the main can. I didn't put the because we have a bad habit of our trash can we fill up, so we have to put bags around it, and we wait till the night before so nothing gets into it while there's just a bag out in the open.
Yeah, I understand.
And that night I went to bed and I slept till noon the next Friday.
And they had already come and
Yeah,
so put that shit out.
So I have like to take out 3 or 4 trash cans worth of garbage and put down beside the stuff that we've already filled the big blue can in with.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And as I said, my leg's hurting me, so I'm gonna have fun dragging shit down to the side of the road. I'm just now gonna try to figure out what I'm gonna.
Dude, that's when you get one of them really cool wagons that has like, you know, the almost chain link stuff, you know, around like the, you know, around the thing that actually makes the like inside of the wagon, you know.
Yeah.
And just, you know, put all that shit into it and just drag it down that way.
My mom's got one of those fold-up fabric wagons. She bought it off of Temu. Like,
Oh yeah, no, I wouldn't use it.
it ain't very big.
I wouldn't think so. If it's coming from China, it ain't gonna be that big.
Yeah, I got my Temu ordered today. I checked my mail before I came to work. Another pair of suspenders, but
They're not big enough.
the picture made it look like the straps are going to be like this.
Oh yeah. But it's like this big.
Yeah. I'm hoping they fit me still. I ordered the largest one they had.
And in China, that's fucking huge, dude.
I'm sure it is, especially if you're malnourished.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like every now and then you get like what's his name? Yao?
Yeah, that's like 10 foot tall and like.
He's tall but skinny.
That's what I'm saying.
But he was a good basketball.
Oh, I know. I remember him. I've watched that sports ball stuff.
Yeah. I just remember him mostly because of the commercials and stuff he was in.
Yeah, oh my god. So, okay, one more thing before I go into shit.
And I have to go home and eat.
There is this comedian, you may know him. His name's like Jay Farrow.
Sounds familiar. There's a lot of them. I've heard the name before, but I couldn't place their face.
Right. No, I understand. I'm the same way. And he's been on a lot of talk shows and podcasts and shit like that. And plenty of times they'll be like, hey, you know, how do you think Kevin Hart, you know, would, you know, react to this? And he'd do his, you know, Kevin Hart, you know, impersonation and shit. But the funniest one is like his Shaq impression. And he was on, I forget the name of the show, but it's the one where they do the like hot wings and shit, and it gets like hotter each time.
Hot ones.
Right. At least I think it was that show because he was eating wings.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming it was that show.
It probably was because that's the one I used to watch it, but I stopped when they started getting a lot of people on there I hated.
Right. And they asked him, you know, well, how would Shaq react to this, you know, to these? and one eye went that way, and he goes, "Oh, this is pretty good." You know, and he actually did a very like spot on Shaq impression.
Yeah.
And even I was like, "Oh my god, that is so fucking hilarious."
Shaq's one. There's a lot of comedians who do it because Shaq has that voice where, like giantism or whatever. It sounds like his tongue is a little too big for his.
Yes, exactly. Though that also reminds me of, I think it was Fallon that he got Morgan Freeman
Yeah.
to suck on a helium balloon.
See what he sounded like.
And it sounded almost like a normal person's voice.
I have done helium when I've been in the store and a balloon pop.
Yeah.
It just popped enough that I could put my mouth. I would suck in the helium and I would do it. Your voice sounds a lot different, but you do get a little bit higher pitched.
Yeah. And so what's even funnier is I'm pretty sure same show. This time it was Sofia Vergara.
Yeah.
Who's already got kind of a high pitched voice.
Yeah.
And oh my god, it sounded like one of the freaking chipmunks, man. It was the funniest shit. And especially with her accent. Oh my god, it was the funniest thing ever.
I'm trying to think. I don't know the dude's voice. I know he writes comic books and he's acting in a few things. The guy from the one who played Roz in the Underworld movies. Big black dude. He literally sounds like a demon when he talks.
I mean, I vaguely remember. I'm kind of like you. The name's familiar. I know exactly what you're talking about, but I can't quite picture him.
I know the character's name, but I can't remember his actual name. The character's name was Roz. R-A-Z.
Right.
He was in the first movie. He dies, but then he was in the prequel movie because he was,
one of the ones from back then. Yeah.
He was the right-hand man to the main werewolf.
See, yeah, that's who I thought you were talking about. I can't quite remember his name, but I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Well, he was the writer of that movie, one of the writers on that movie. He's also wrote a few comic books and stuff. And I can't think of any other movie he's been in, but I just know because he's the one in the movie, and it was in the trailer for the movie. Like when the werewolves are sneaking around in the beginning before the shootout, and he spots the girl. He's the one that's like, "Bloods!"
Yeah.
Before the shootout starts.
Man, those movies were so good.
I like at least the first three. I think the last two kind of got shit. I didn't like it when they kind of just killed the main dude off from the first movie with no. It's like, hey, we don't need him in the story anymore. He was the main MacGuffin in the first movie.
Yes.
But then by the
third or fourth or
they're like,
you know what? Let's kill him.
Kill him off because
Kill him now.
Yeah. The chick is,
Yeah, Selena.
Yeah, she's the main one.
She's the main character. Yeah.
Well, still, it's like I like the dude from the first one.
I do too, and the fact that they did almost the whole cliche of he got her pregnant and then he died.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Like
Me of them.
Like, shouldn't her kid technically be the more powerful one since it's now a werewolf, vampire, super hybrid now because she got the blood from the
or Venus family bloodline.
The progenitor of races
Yeah.
who was a true immortal.
Right.
So now she's a full immortal vampire, and now her child should be a full immortal vampire werewolf mix.
Yes. Well, it'd be almost like, what is it? Because the dad was already half and half. The mother was full, so it'd be like 3/4 vampire.
And also, as I said, a complete immortal now because she was now a vampire that could walk in daylight.
Right, exactly.
Because she drank the pure immortal blood.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of like the whole vampire idea from Blade a little better, you know?
Yeah.
Because I think it was his mother was bitten while she was pregnant with him.
Yeah, that was his thing. Now the thing was in the comic books that they changed it to be more like the movies later. Originally in the comics, Blade's only power was because his mom was bitten while she was pregnant with him. He's immune to vampirism, meaning if a vampire bites him, he won't turn.
Right. But
that
he's the daywalker.
yeah, but later they retconned it in the comics. He's got vampire powers, so he's got their strength and healing, but he can walk in daylight. But he has to drink. He doesn't have to drink blood. He just
But
has a
he
craving.
wants, like, the full powers and
He
stuff
needs a
like that.
power up, or if he's injured and he needs a quick heal,
He
he
can drink blood and it'll take care of it.
Yeah. That's the only. But that didn't come into effect until the 90s because of that
After the
movie.
and stuff.
Yeah, because the movie made that more popular.
Yeah.
Originally, because he was created in the 70s to be a black exploitation
Yeah.
caricature, sort of like Luke Cage was.
Yeah.
You know, the black guy who's bulletproof.
Oh God. Or God. So another on that same vein, some of the funniest shit to me is that there was like some TikToks or reels or something that I saw of like these black guys playing a Family Feud thing of like the question was, name a black superhero whose ability wasn't electric based.
Oh, there's a few, but
Well, right, but the joke was is they just kept naming all these different characters.
Black Lightning, Soul Power,
Right, exactly. Oh God, what was
Static Shock.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and it's like, son of a bitch. Storm. Oh wait, she can use lightning.
And that was the main thing she's always depicted doing, is shooting lightning out of her eyes or something.
Yes, exactly. Well, like I said, let me go.
Get back to
actually do
work.
A little bit of work before I gotta go.
Get back to work there, Shed Monkey.
I've only been sitting here for like an hour and a half talking.
Man, I was bored.
Well, shit, so was I. Because at first, I was working on a bag in there, trying to empty it, and I like heard you run over it like the first time, and I didn't think anything of it at first, and then you did it again. That's when I saw who it was, and I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna just fuck it. And then you came back around the third time, and I was like, well, I guess I better go out there and at least wave at them.
Yeah, it was like I was bored, and it was also empty enough out here. I felt safe doing a full donut
Yeah,
or
exactly,
two.
yeah.
Most of the time, if there's someone parked anywhere,
Right here, yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to accidentally clip them.
Right. Oh, dude, I think that actually happened yesterday. I was sitting out here, or at least in the doorway, and somebody, like, I think they full on, like, bumped into the car in front of them, or, like, they turned into it or whatever, got out, looked at their car, got out, or got back in, got back out, waited a little bit, I guess waiting for a person to come out or something.
Yeah.
The person finally came out like an hour and a half or so after they left.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yeah, well, whatever.
Probably didn't do enough damage to even
They
work.
didn't, because I could see that I could see the front end of the car that they actually hit.
Yeah.
And it didn't.
Didn't even scuff it.
Yeah, no. I mean, they probably scratched the paint just a little bit, but it would have only been at like maybe the bumper or whatever.
Man. All right, well, I'll let you go. Don't have too much fun.
there was 90.1 KAXM. Nashville just lucky.
infections and tuberculosis.
There are a lot of things you might not know about our great state.
Tuberculosis.
To you by
A scary thought in the suitcase. It's not too late. It's today. Got enveloped in your sticker shock. I gotta tell ya.